Our next demo is actually at the top of the funnel, which is about the need analysis. So the next conversation is going to be about role of need analyzers in improving insurance awareness. I think this is a very, very pertinent issue and will trickle down to business for everybody in the room. This is going to be presented by Sumit Ramani. Sumit Ramani is an engineer turned actuary, brings over 15 years of experience in the insurance industry, a deep passion for financial modeling and impactful solutions. He has co-founded a company called Protect Me Well, a business-to-business API-driven tech firm that empowers financial institutions, including insurers, brokers, banks, wealth managers, and advisors, with the tool to deliver unbiased financial advice and recommend the most suitable products for their clients. Over to you, Sumit.
So how many of you in the room would be comfortable with retiring with a retirement corpus of 2 to 3 crores? None of you, I guess, right? Then my question to you is, how is it that you are comfortable with a term insurance of sum assured 1 crore? Because if you think about it, term insurance effectively is retirement corpus of your dependents. So if you want a retirement corpus of 8 crores and happy with term insurance of 1 crore, either you are an hypocrite or you are not financially literate enough, right? And this is where these analysis comes in. How many of you also think about disability insurance as a way to protect yourself or your way to protect yourself against financial losses? Probably none of you, right? But if you think about it, in case of term insurance, your income goes away and your expenses also goes away and you are also gone. In case of disability insurance, you are around, your income goes away, your expenses probably increase. So you need disability insurance more than you probably need term insurance. Also, how about home insurance for the home that you built with so much time, effort, and money, and probably pain? Did you ever consider covering it against fire, flood, earthquake? Probably not, right? And this is if these are the questions that kind of caught your attention, this presentation is for you. Thanks in advance for your attention. So we'll talk about very simple things. We'll talk about what are the stages of needs analyzer, what does the big picture look like, what are the key features, what are the benefits. Also this question around buy versus build, right? So theoretically, while I'm an actuary, I could build this. Pretty much anyone who is who's a probably CA, CFA actuary could build something like this. Then the question arises, why people are not building and whether they should build or not, right? And towards the end of it, we'll give you first-hand experience of what we have built and leave it there, right? So essentially, if you look at from a product perspective, need analyzers are essentially, if you think about in the primitive world, were term insurance calculators or retirement corpus calculators. So those are the primitive world needs analyzers. Then when these would evolve, these could talk about multiple products, right? Not just term insurance, but also about, let's say, health insurance, about critical insurance, about emergency corpus, retirement corpus, all in one go. These could also further evolve and talk about and factor in your financial information, your demographic information, your health information, and make it all the more hyper-personalized. In terms of data, the data could be fetched from, let's say, inputs from the users. It could come from other sources within the company, from an external source, or you could also apply, for example, you could also use shopping behavior to understand how this individual purchases and whether some insurance is more relevant to him or not. So these are the two ways of looking at it from an evolution perspective. So in terms of big picture, if you look at it, a needs analyzer would take inputs from the customer, would have an engine that would do needs analysis. It could do all of these things, right? It could do just one or all of these. That is critical illness, medical insurance, disability, term, retirement corpus, also the financial goals. And then get further deeper with custom logic around location, your family composition, your health condition, and get to a point where it talks about particular product of an insurance company, the relevant add-ons, if there are any loadings, and and what does the premium look like, right? So this is how a good needs analyzer should look like, and this is how it should be built. So essentially then what are the key features of needs analyzer? It is unbiased. And essentially what it means is that it is not dependent on the mood of the individual. If today I'm adventurous, I'm selling something else. If as an agent my skill is only around life insurance, I do not talk about health insurance. So it is unbiased. It is unbiased in terms of how I'm feeling, my emotions, and also from the skills perspective. Second is internally consistent, right? We talked about the analogy between retirement corpus and term insurance. So essentially term insurance is essentially retirement corpus for your family, right? Basically that's the money that they will need to take care of their expenses for the rest of their lifetime. So since many products work in a way that they have a separate calculator for term insurance and different for retirement corpus, they're not internally consistent. A good need analyzer should be internally consistent in that way. It should be personalized. So it should take care of your income, your assets, your liabilities, your expenses, your family composition to eventually give you a recommendation, right? It should also be intelligent, right? And it's quite interesting. I've seen many retirement calculators wherein they would ask you, what is the inflation rate? If I, as an individual, knew what is the inflation rate for next 30 years, I probably do not need this calculator. I can build on my own, right? So asking questions which are intelligent and having the up-to-date information. So engines like these should not be asking, what is your inflation rate? That is something the engine should know, right? And these should be reviewed on a regular basis so that they're up-to-date and relevant. And once you have all these, right, why you're doing this? Because you need to have actionable insights. The actionable insights are what should be size of my sum assured, what should be my cover, what is the most relevant product for me, and then eventually use this to sell the right product to the right individual at right level, and maybe multiple products in some cases, because some individuals might think term insurance is the only product that they need. But if the need analyzer is comprehensive, they would also realize, oh, they also need disability cover, they also need medical cover, they also need critical illness cover, they also need home insurance cover, for example, right? And essentially then a need analyzer should help you sell right and probably sell more per customer, which is where we get to the next slide. These are based on the researches that you, and the sources are identified in the top right. So need analyzers across the globe, and this is slightly broader. Think of need analyzer as a robo-advisor across wealth management and insurance, have globally helped generate trust, because as a need, when you offer need analyzer to someone, you're essentially saying, here is that I'm giving something which is meaningful, personalized for you, and I'm not here in a selling mode. So you're essentially building trust that way. The second is engagement, right? Think about it as and this is real life use case. One of our potential customers reached out to us saying, and they are banks, right? So they reached out to us saying, as soon as our relationship manager goes to our customer and asks, sir, do you have a health insurance cover? The person runs away, right? So this is where if you give a need analysis report on day 0, you essentially build an engagement, right? And then you have an option to reach out to your customer and say, okay, sir, we did need analysis. Do you need any help, right? Third is warm lead. So imagine integrating need analyzer on your website or giving it to your agent. Anyone who has come to your website either has completed the journey or even has started the journey is a warm lead. He came on his own, started taking the journey. He did not complete it for whatever the reason, but now you have a warm lead. And it's obviously, because it does these things right, your sales cycles are also shortened, because you are only talking to the customers who are more inclined to buy already. And since it creates awareness around what all products are relevant for the end customer, you end up selling more. And there are numbers around it. You could find them in the sources identified above. So, and then the question for most sellers of financial product, which is insurance company or brokers, is, okay, great, but I can also build it, right? There's no big deal. And I would tend to agree that you could build it. The question is, this would never be your priority one. And if this is not your priority one, chances are that you would never build it. And even if you end up building it, chances of ensuring that it remains relevant for next several years is very, very unlikely. Yes, you could hire a resource, you could hire 2 of them, spend a year, build it, but what about the macroeconomic parameters that we're talking about, the inflation rate, the interest rate, the returns on stocks, the returns on debt? How do you kind of ensure that they continue to remain relevant year on year, each year? So it's probably a good idea to not buy and not build, but actually buy from someone who has done this and is spreading his cost across multiple companies, right? Because the cost remains same, but the providers of need analyzer could spread this across multiple companies. And in my mind, it's generally a good idea to buy something like this as opposed to build. And this is what we have been doing for last few years now. What we have built is an API-first comprehensive financial planning engine. And what you see is just this, right? Questions and recommendation. What you have is a lot deeper. We essentially end up projecting income, expenses, assets, liabilities of not just the individual, but also the family members. And once we have done that, so for example, for term insurance, we say, what if this guy dies on time 0? His income is gone, his expenses are also gone. We know what his outstanding liabilities are. We know what is the expenses his family would incur over several years, accounting for life stage. So let's say if there is a kid who is 5 years old, would become older, would go to college, and eventually become independent. So accounting for all of that, what is that, the cover that you need today so that your lifestyle remains as is. Extending this for retirement corpus, for example, you turn 60, your partner is probably 55, you have a kid who is going to be dependent on you only for next 2 years. Accounting for that, for longevity risk, you could live for 70, 80, 90 years, and those are the scenarios that we run. What is that you would need so that your lifestyle is not compromised? So that becomes your retirement corpus. And hence, the relationship between term insurance and retirement corpus is maintained because the underlying engine is just same. We are identifying the right gaps to be able to make the recommendations. So this is API first and geography agnostic. The only thing that is linked to the geography is the parameters. The underlying logic remains same. So if you were to do it for another country, we only need to identify those parameters. And I should not say only need to, because those are about 200 odd parameters, requires fair bit of effort. But we just need to configure those parameters and the same engine works. So we saw this picture earlier. Essentially, this is how we have built Protect Me Well. We have a comprehensive journey which does all of this in one go. We also have extended, for purpose of demo, we have also extended medical insurance to get to this point, which is what we are launching today and demoing today at our stall and also here. So essentially, I just hope this works. We have a rule engine that we have built, and this journey we have launched in collaboration with One Finance, who have studied all the medical insurance products that exist in the market and configured their rules. That's how you see the rule engine and the knowledge coming together to do something like this. You can experience this journey by scanning the QR code takes only 15 seconds. We don't ask for any PII, and of course, we don't charge any money today. Right? Happy to answer any questions that you might have. We can write white label. We are building it for others. Yeah, so those are the rules that you set. Yeah. So for example, we are also doing it for one of the insurers. They would only sell their products. So they get to configure the rules. Yeah, because this is there is financial information, and this journey is only for the demo. We have a elaborate journey where we also ask underwriting questions. No, you won't be able to see it. It gives you a flavor of it. The entire rule engine also involves asking underwriting questions: your height, weight, pre-medical conditions, family history, if you have lifestyle habits, how much you smoke, how much you drink, all of that, right? All of that can be configured. The engine cuts across life, health, and general. Depending upon what you sell, you could use. It's an API, right? So you consume whatever you want. It's live. I mean, we've been around for quite some time. No, so everything is live. So everything that you. Life insurance only the life part, the life term part. Yeah, so term plan, critical illness, retirement corpus then can be tagged to ULIP. And we also have financial goals that we did not talk about, which can be all linked to all endowment products. Any further questions? Happy to answer. I am at kiosk number 7. See you there. Thank you very much.